Hi, I'm the boy in blue, and I'm back with another video. So obviously it's been a very, very long time since I've uploaded any videos at all on this channel. At first, before everything happened, I was still in school and really, really busy, so that's what kept me away for the most part. And then of course, the apocalypse happened, and then now I've been quarantining this whole time and doing a lot of binge watching, a lot of binge playing, and just trying to stay sane and all that good stuff. And that is what brings me back. I wanted to talk a little bit about Love, Victor. And I want to say, first of all, that I really, 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 really enjoyed this show. I thought it was really good. We were very well handled, and I really liked the things that were going on. I liked what was being discussed, what was being talked about, and all those things. But as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I had some problems, and I'm here to talk about some of them, but my main one being the character of Victor and how the character of Mia was treated. And if you've seen the series or if you've watched enough spoilers, oh, also spoiler alert, don't watch this video if you haven't seen it yet and don't want to be spoiled. Spoiler alert, but it'll be, so if you want to stick around, that's on you. Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, spoilers. So, I was trying to figure out what direction to go into in talking about this series, and I could have did like a general review format where I kind of like touched upon all the characters and plot points and whatever key things. But I thought about it and I'm like, enough people doing that anyway, saying the things. And like I said in the beginning of this, I largely enjoyed it and I largely liked all of the characters. However, there were some issues that I wanted to get out there before I ended up watching some of my some of the people on the other reviews before I like let my feelings be known and put it out there. I didn't want to be influenced, so I want to just get my raw, unedited, unfiltered there. I didn't write them out. I didn't plan anything. It's just me coming out with it and just talking about it. It may not be perfect. It may not be totally whatever, you know. I'm just talking about it. I'm mostly talking about characters and certain plot details. I'm not necessarily other, you know, details that would go in like a more well-rounded, well-adjusted review. I don't normally use that kind of term review, but well-rounded review. I would also talk about like the filming style and location and settings and all that stuff. But I'm very driven anyway. Even as a writer, I'm more so am like character driven. So when I consume content and I watch things, read things as well, play things, video games, I mean, because I'm a gamer, I am more so focused on the characters. So, some of my main issues with Love, Victor. And again, this isn't me necessarily shitting on the series, because it's a great series. I loved it. And I loved the movie. I saw the movie a couple days ago before I saw Love, Victor. In fact, Love, Victor is what made me watch the movie, because it's not that I didn't want to see Love, Simon. It's just that I didn't really, I don't know. I never got around to it. And I was just kind of like, oh, movie about a white guy who finds out he's gay. Cool. And then when I saw it, I was like, I should have watched this shit. This shit's good as hell. Damn. And I finally saw a role we really liked from Alexandria Shipp. She did a really good job in that movie. I was like, oh, she was looking right. And she was acting. I was like, there you go. I like you here. Well, yeah, there you go. And Hannah Baker, she did a good job there too. I was like, all right, Hannah, we can watch you here, because on that other show, no, they only get one season for me. I ain't watching that crap. I'm openly gay, so that's like one of the first things to like, you'll probably figure it out as I talk about this, but like, I just want to get that out of the way, whatever. So, yes, Love, Simon, great movie. Love, Victor, good series. I have questions. So, just kind of off the top of my head, like some of my with the series were the treatment of Mia. Hard to see. Let's see, what else? I also had some issues with Lake's relationship, but I'll briefly touch upon that. I'm gonna actually like start with that, just kind of get out of the way, because I don't really largely care about them. I'm just kind of like, they're kind of just there to be there, because we gotta have some white people up in there. So I mean, sure, I guess we'll go ahead and have them there. It's fine. And then I guess we'll talk a little bit about the sister. You gotta talk about the sister. I mean, come on. And then I'll briefly touch upon the parents, because that was some juicy tea. I loved seeing the details about the parents. And let me also get this out the way real quick. Victor's dad? Whoa! That man was fine. I was like, whoa! Whoa! The fact, what we find out happens, and like the mama, and like that whole drama, I'm like, had that been me and my husband and all that? How? How did you do that? How did you do that, Ana Ortiz? Because I don't remember her character's name. She's just mom. How did you do that, mom? How did you cheat on that fine-ass man? And I saw who it was with. He's attractive for an older silver fox white guy, I guess. But, like, he wasn't finer than the daddy. I'm like... That's just me, though. That's just me, though. And I'm messy. Like, I'm a little messy. I'm just gonna let y'all know. It's not gonna be perfectly, like, poised and, like, well thought out and eloquent. You know, sometimes I go off the rails, okay? Sometimes I go on tangents. So just be prepared for that, okay? Be prepared. I'm already on a little bit of a tangent. So, yes, we will discuss the parents a little bit. What else is there to say? Benji and the boyfriend. Oh yeah, God! I'm so glad I had to like go over the points, like little bullet point in my head, because I was just gonna go in on like Mia's treatment and like Victor and Mia and then Victor as well. But like we have to talk about the boyfriend and that whole thing, because the narrative wanted me to really look at a certain thing and decide, oh, you're that and this and that, this and that. I don't fall for that. Excuse me. Oh, fucking fan for blowing dust in my face. If you hear a whirring, it's my fan, so just a little warning. Yeah, so the narrative likes to tell me all kinds of things in a lot of shows and movies and stuff. It tries to tell me who I should like, who I should support, who I should, you know, root for and stuff like that. Nah, I decide who I like. I decide who's cool, who's not, who's right, who's wrong, and all that. I decide. The narrative don't tell me what to do, okay? So let me just go into the details as quickly as I can. I don't want to make this too long. I just want to make it very clear. We will save Mia and Victor's thing last, because that is the main crux of this. That's the main potatoes of this. That's where my strongest feelings come in. So we'll talk about the fluff. Or the fluff, but like for me, these were like the things I cared about not as much. So I'll just say real quick. We'll talk about Felix. Okay, so Felix is the new friend / quickly best friend of Victor, who's new in town. He's like lives in the same building. He like greets himself. He very much inserts himself into Victor's life, and Victor goes along with it because he has no friends. I'm like, that's cute, but also, it's not really how friendship works. It's more of a gradual process. Speaking of gradual, real quick, I want to say that Mia's dad dates this new woman played by Sophia Bush, who I do like because I saw her in John Tucker Must Die. I never saw One Tree Hill. I know I was in that generation when that was coming up and all of that, but I never got around to that. I was watching Smallville. I was watching other stuff. I did not see the OC. I did not see One Tree Hill. I saw Smallville, Gossip Girl, Veronica Mars eventually. It took a long time, but I did see Veronica Mars, and I love that shit. Up until the 4th season, and the way that shit ended, they got me fucked up. And if you saw that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that was not okay. Anyway, what I tell you about tangents, you already know what's going on. Like, you already know what you're dealing with on this channel. I am the Tangent King. I'm a Gemini, so know that now. I think about things, I have lots of different interests. I go all over the place. So I try to rein myself in as best as I can. Work with me. It's also a pandemic. I'm also all over the place. Like, forgive me. Okay, so I was talking about Lake and Felix. Okay, so Felix, he's ingratiating himself into Victor's life. They become friends, blah, blah, blah. He's basically, I don't want to say this because it's rude to say it, but he's the loser. He's the guy that no one's friends with. He has his childhood insult nickname that caught on and won't go away, and no one likes him really, except because he's new. And being like a star member of the basketball team, new star member, Felix is able to like get some more new friends because they both literally had like no other friends besides like the friends they get through Mia, as in Mia and Lake. And so Lake is Mia's best friend. She's the daughter of a journalist, news anchor. She is like Insta, like, you know, very much into like Insta fame. She's popular and she likes popularity. That's like what she's all about, and that's what she likes and stuff like that. That's who she is, you know, yada, yada, yada. And so just real quickly, I want to say that obviously Felix is her forever, and yeah, we're going into all of that. And then of course, like, she eventually sees him, although at first she doesn't. She's being a fucking dick to him, hella like walking away from him and being hella mean, although a lot of times he's really weird and shit like that. I'm like, dude, you have like no social cues. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, you must have at least seen some movies and shows to pretend like you're... Anyway, neither here nor there. But no, the point that I'm trying to make in terms of their relationship and why I don't really care for it that much is that, okay, we're supposed to see this and think, okay, yeah, Felix loves her, and if she just gives him a chance and just sees him, and then there's some character development and she learns to love him, which of course happens, then yeah, they could be a ship and we could be happy, and the friends can be together, and it could be great, and everyone can be happy except Mia. And then anyway, excuse me, and she might be, who knows, probably. But anyway, my thing is this. So he's like into her and he has like all these feelings for her, but it's like, why though? You like her because she's attractive. That's it. Because is she nice to you? Does she treat you with any modicum of respect? And when you do start hooking up, she treats you as a secret? Like, of course we know at the end, like, yeah, she makes the declaration and kisses him on stage, and oh yeah, he's great, he's a loser, but I like him, and yeah. And I'm like, but you're still evil. You don't deserve me. No. That other girl deserved him, or if you didn't really like her, I mean, it's whatever. But at the same time, it's like, look, when someone is rude to you off tops and is treating you like shit, you deserve better than that. I'm here to tell you that. You deserve better than that. You deserve better than to want someone who treats you like shit and is actually openly rude to you. That's not someone you like. I mean, if you like them or whatever, attracted, like, you can't help how you feel. But at the same time, that's not someone you should want to be with. That's your start. That she was rude to you and, like, publicly insulted you and shunned you. Anyway, so I didn't buy that. Also, eventually, like, we get to the part where he's like, oh, you know, you care about your image and stuff like that, and like, I don't want to be your secret, blah, 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 which is valid. Yes, you shouldn't have to be a secret because, you know, Felix, he's weird and all that, but he's cute. He's a cute kid. Like, there's no, in the real world, that guy would not have no friends and have no one checking for him. I'm sorry. Like, literally, all these fucking shows, in terms of, like, who's a loser, excuse me, a loser and stuff like that, like, they're obviously attractive. Like, are you really trying to tell me that, like, you throw some glasses on a chick and she's ugly or a nerd, loser, whatever? Like, I see you, Hollywood. I see you. Stop it. Like, stop it. There's no way he would not. Anyway. Anyway, so, like, he's like, I don't want to be your secret. I'm like, yeah, great. You shouldn't want to be her secret. Like, yeah. But, like, what I'm trying to say is that he resents the fact, and he's like telling her, like, you know, your mom's saying all these things to you, and that was shitty, the way that she was treating her and shit like that, like, oh, your image is what matters, blah, blah, blah. But, like, Lake has presented that as being, like, who she is and stuff like that. Like, maybe, like, it was her character development to, like, get over that and change or whatever. But at the same time, I'm feeling like, maybe that's who she is. And there's, I mean, there is a lot wrong with it, but like, that's who she is. And maybe that just means that they're not compatible. I feel like they're not compatible. They're incompatible. I feel like her caring about her image, while I don't agree with that, like, that's who she is and that's what she wants. So he should, like, want to be with someone who doesn't want to be a secret or doesn't care about that sort of thing. Like the girl he went to the dance with. Like, she was much more his speed, but it's fine. Whatever. It's fine. Like, you know, there are plenty of fish in the sea. But anyway, getting that out of the way, I feel like they weren't compatible, and I feel like she treated him like shit. Like, why the fuck should he even be into her like that? Like, okay. Who else was I gonna talk about? Okay, let's briefly talk about the sister. So Pilar, and I might have mispronounced that, I'm so sorry. Anyway, she is upset, she's angry, her life has been uprooted. She, give me a second, because my phone is dying. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, so, Pilar, she's upset. She's angry that she's had to move. She's had to leave her boyfriend behind, who ends up breaking up with her because the long distance isn't working for him, whatever. And all her friends are like back home where they were before. And she's acting out a lot, blah, 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 blah. And she's definitely the character that most people dislike in like reviewing the show and stuff like that. From what I've seen and from what people have like said offhand, I can tell that like she's a character that people don't like. And that's understandable. I didn't like her that much either in a lot of ways. I get that. But at the same time, I'm like, she had her moments. And also, I understand, like, you know, I would be very upset if I had to uproot my life, you know, as a teenager and stuff like that, leaving all of my friends behind. And like, my parents will not tell me the reason, aside from some bullshit excuse about a job. And it turns out that that was like a lie. I'm like, I mean, well, it was a job. It wasn't quite what they thought. You know what I mean? Like there were other things going on. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of all I have to say there, because otherwise, when half the things she said to her parents, especially her mama, woo child, woo. Pilar, if you ever come across this video, thank your lucky stars your mama ain't a black woman. Thank your lucky stars your mama ain't a black woman. She would have whooped that ass. I wish I would talk to my mama like that. Oh, hell no. That's literally the first thing that comes to mind whenever I see something and like people are like bad-mouthing and openly disrespecting their parents. I'm like, oh, so it's that kind of party. It's that kind of situation. We got that kind of family going on. Wow. That's interesting. I have never seen that before. I could never get away with that shit. Like, whoa. Thank your lucky stars your mama ain't a black woman, cause whoo! Oh! It'd have been a wrap. Anyway, so, not to say that all black mothers or black parents will like do corporal punishment or capital punishment in terms of like whooping their kids or something, but I'm just saying in general, like a black mother, even if they don't do that, like, it'll be some shit. She ain't gonna just take that shit. You gonna get something happen to you, if it's being grounded for life or whatever, or getting a good yelling, shout out match, cuss the fuck out. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not judging. As long as you ain't doing nothing too out of pocket, I'm not judging. Because I ain't got no kids. I'm not about to tell nobody how to raise their kids, aside from like, don't do really horrible out of pocket shit about certain things. But yeah, like the whole whooping conversation, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not getting into that conversation. I have my own feelings about that for if I ever have kids, but I'm not gonna get into that right here. I'm just gonna say that a black mama would not take that disrespect one way or another. One way or another. That's all I have to say about that. So anyway, yeah, that's my little thing about Pilar. Now, briefly talking about the parents, both of them were hot as hell. Especially because I'm gay. The dad, oh my god, that daddy was fine as fuck. I'm like, mama, how you shit on that? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Why? You cheated on that? Girl, what? First of all, there would have been at least 6 kids. Woo! Oh, wait, no, he said, I mean, was that a joke? Because he said, like, oh, the vasectomy didn't take, and that's why we have a 3rd kid. Okay, so then, yeah. I see what he did there. And I hope that that's not the case, because that's fucked up. Like, does that happen to people? Like, it doesn't work? Because that's not cool. Especially since, like, a vasectomy is less evasive than a woman getting her tubes tied. A cis woman, at least, getting her tubes tied. That's, like, that's much more of a, like, evasive. They have to, like, cut in there and do a bunch of crap and do, like, it's more risky, and it's just a lot more. So, yeah, I hope the vasectomies work most of the time, because shit. Anyway, yeah, the parents, like, with their secrets and stuff. I will also say briefly for Victor's benefit, when he called out his parents about their constant fighting and their secrets and them affecting the whole family, including the youngest brother, he's like, he's little, but he's not stupid. I'm like, thank you, Victor. Thank you. Because kids are not stupid. Kids are not stupid. Even if you don't want to tell them everything and they're too young to know all the details, kids aren't stupid. So thank you, Victor. And thank you, like, parents. My first advice to them would have been, get some marriage counseling. Why we gotta separate? Why we gotta fight? Get some marriage counseling. I know it can be expensive. Maybe they didn't have the money, or I don't know if that could go under, like, therapy or something with, like, insurance. I don't know how that works, but, like, we can't try. She's even doing piano lessons. She could take some of those proceeds and get some much needed therapy. Excuse me, couples counseling. And I'd say also some family therapy, especially with that daughter. Woo! Y'all need some family therapy, especially when Victor comes out at the end. Like, shit. Y'all need some family therapy. Get all of them demons out. Fucking air it all out. Fucking figure it out. Marriage counseling for the parents and family therapy for the whole family. Shit. And get some solo counseling for the Lars. She needs it. Like, she needs it. She needs to talk to somebody. And she needs to try to get herself some friends. They need to cast season 2. If and when that shit comes out, I really hope it does. I think it will. Especially how popular it is. But anyway, let's cast this girl some friends. I was hoping for at least like a Daria situation where like the one outcast meets the other outcast and they're outcasts together. I'm like, she got literally no friends? Her friends are his friends? What? Bye. I'm like, we can't get her nobody. We can't even find another girl who's like, you know, hating on everything, hating the world, and like unlikable or whatever. Not that you have to be likable if you're a female or femme character. You have to be likable and smile or whatever, because that's bullshit. That's fine. And like I said, her acting out makes sense. It's valid. She's upset, and she should be. Her life being uprooted, stupid fan, being uprooted, like, yeah, she should be upset. But anyway, neither here nor there. I don't want to go too much into that. I have other things. I have other avenues to get to. Now, we covered Felix and Lake. I'll briefly touch upon Andrew. First of all, we meet him and he's shirtless, and I'm thinking to myself, please God, let this actor, whoever he is, actually be over 18, because I feel creepy if he's actually a teenager, because Dawson casting is such a thing. You never actually know who's really a teenager or not if you're like thirsting after them. For example, on Gossip Girl, everyone was like over 18 when they were playing teenagers, except Taylor Momsen, who played Jenny, was actually a teenager. So you never know. So I hope that he's actually over 18, because that's creepy. I'm like, please. In fact, just for my own little sanity, I'm gonna check right meow. I hope he has his own page, because not everyone has their own page on Wikipedia, but I guess IMDb could help as well. Oh, let me see. Love Victor. La la. While we take this commercial break, let me serenade you with some music. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna sing. Not right now. Not after I've been shouting. Andrew. Damn it, he doesn't have a page. Okay, so let's look at Victor, because he doesn't look really young. He's 20. Okay, that makes sense. Which means that most of the other people will probably be around that age, probably. What's his name though? Hold on. Maybe he will show up on this thing. There he goes. I've seen him in something else. He was in something. The guy who plays Andrew, he looks familiar. Wait, he's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son? Oh, I didn't even trip off his last name, Mason Gooding. I like completely glossed over that. Oh, okay. And that's why he's so cute, because I've always had a crush on Cuba Gooding Jr. I'm like, oh, okay. Nice. How old is he though? I need to know. Oh, he's 23. Okay, cool. Good. He's not a fucking child. That's all I need to know. Okay, so we first meet Andrew and he's shirtless. And I'm like, I agree with this choice, show and showrunners, producers, whatever. I agree with this choice very strongly. And like, yeah, he's a dick and he's like a low-key bully, high-key, whatever key you want to say. Mid-key, high-mid, low-mid, a key of some sort. C-key? Anyway, he's a bully of some kind. And yeah, we're supposed to not like him very much. And for the most part, I kind of didn't. But I could see that he was like into Mia and stuff like that. And like, he wasn't the best to Lake when she was interested in him. But she was also trying too hard. That's part of why I didn't really love Lake's character. It's like, okay, she cares about her image way too much, which is whatever. Like I said, it's her choice. It's who she is. But at the same time, it's like, she was like faking shit. And she was lying about stuff to try to like look more popular. And like when she said, oh, he just texted me. He's like, you don't even have your phone in your hand. And she's like, walks away. I'm like, woo! Anyway, but yeah, Andrew is the closest thing Mia has to someone who's actually interested in her, even though, like I said, he's like a bit of a dick. But not to her, though. He's nice to her, but I mean, obviously, because he likes her, which is unfortunate. You should be nice just to be nice, but I mean, it is what it is, and everybody's nice. That's just how it is. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say there. I guess more on him in terms of like how the secret comes out, because he plays a bit of a role in that. So very quickly, I want to discuss Benji's boyfriend and his relationship with Benji. I don't know the boyfriend's name. Ugh. Let me check real quick. Derek. Derek is Benji's boyfriend. Literally the entire time I was like watching the show and like doing my little voice recording reactions, because I do that sort of thing, I'm weird. I didn't know his name. I was just like, Benji's boyfriend. So anyway, Derek. So Derek, the narrative wants to tell me so badly. The narrative wants to like really like tell me and convince me that I'm supposed to hate Derek and root specifically for Victor and Benji to be together. And I may be a minority in this. There's probably a lot of people who watch the show and a lot of people who wanted Victor and Benji to be together. And honestly, yeah, I get it. They both liked each other the most and they should be together. Like, why not? Except Benji was in a relationship. He had a boyfriend and like, that was his situation. He was not available. And like the fact that like, oh, he wasn't like into romantic stuff and all that stuff. That's like the main reason. Oh, like, oh, he had this romantic gesture and he went blah, 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 blah. The first thing that came to mind when they were having that like anniversary dinner and like Derek is like, I don't really believe in anniversaries. Like, I don't believe in like doing all this performative heteronormative bullshit for that straight people think is supposed to be whatever. And I'm like, first of all, I could get behind that. I'm very romantic myself. But I don't necessarily think that you have to be, that being romantic means buying into all that stuff. And you can be romantic in other ways. There are other ways to be romantic instead of doing like anniversaries or calling each other boyfriends. There are people who prefer other terms, partners, whatever, instead of boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You know, there are lots of things that play into our socialization in terms of what love is and what it looks like and what a relationship should look like. And so I can get behind that. Like, I thought that was understandable. But the first thing that came to mind when he said that, and when, like, Benji was sitting there like a wounded puppy, like, oh, he doesn't care about me because I did all this stuff and he doesn't like it and blah, 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 blah. The first thing that came to mind was, you were with this guy for a year and you didn't know that about him? You didn't know that he doesn't buy into that stuff and that he doesn't believe in that kind of thing? You never tried to attempt to do a 6-month anniversary, a 3-month anniversary, and this came up? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I consider that a plot hole. I'm like, there's no way Benji didn't know that he was like that. And therefore, why were you with him in the first place if you knew that about him? There's no way they were together this whole time and he didn't already know that about him. But I guess, like, he explained it to Victor in the end. He's like, we had a lot of problems and he'd, like, put me down about stuff. It's like, well, then why did you stay with him? Why did you stay with him? And you were determined to try to make it work and stuff when, like, Victor came into the picture. Also, side note, like I said, clearly Victor was into Benji the whole time, like, strongly anyway, and then, like, Benji was obviously very much into Victor. Like, he, excuse me, behind his boyfriend's back, he put together a cover of Call Me Maybe because he knew Victor liked it, and it was an inside romantic gesture for Victor while he had a whole boyfriend. That is shady. And that's also, in my opinion, leading Victor on. Like, what is he supposed to think? And how is he not supposed to have more feelings for you and feel these things when you dedicate a whole, like, there's no way, especially since when he heard it, he was, like, surprised. Like, he wasn't thinking about it. He didn't listen to it all the time himself. He was shocked. Well, maybe he did like it or listen to it or whatever, but he was still shocked, and that's why he did it. I guarantee you. Can't nobody tell me that he did not do that cover of Call Me Maybe for Victor. He was even looking at him. It was there for a reason, for us to look at them and be like, yes, just, yeah. But, like, I was like, there are other people who are gonna get hurt. There's Derek and there's Mia, and that's not cool. That's not okay. Also, like I said, the narrative was really trying to tell me, really trying to convince me that I needed to hate Derek because he doesn't like romantic stuff, and, like, what's his name? Benji was trying and was, like, doing all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's a dick. He doesn't like blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, maybe if that's how you see it, if that's how you choose to see it, sure. But also, Benji should know that about him. And if it's a problem, he should have broken up with him a long time ago for it to be a thing. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you didn't know that he didn't like anniversaries and shit? Like, what? Why didn't you just find someone who, I mean, Victor, but still, like, ugh. But more importantly, and this is what we're really here to talk about, my poor baby Mia, free Mia and rescue Mia, protect Mia. I want to save Mia, okay? My poor baby, like, all that she went through, like, protect Mia. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. Like, I feel very strongly about Black women and femme characters. Like, I want to protect all the Black girls and ladies because they don't get treated well in anything. And I don't know. I have not, like I said, I haven't been looking at any reviews and I haven't been looking at any, like, critic things about this, critical reception, whatever, which I usually do because I love looking at that kind of thing. I love looking at reviews and stuff, but I'm trying to avoid it. I tried to avoid it because I wanted to get my own authentic view on this. But from what I've grown up with as a Black person in this country who gets into fandoms and things like that, by far and away, people hate Black people and Black characters, especially Black girl characters who get in the way of ships that they like, aka Guinevere and Merlin. Gwen and Merlin. They hated her because they wanted Arthur and Merlin. And she was in the way. They hated Bonnie because they could see that Bonnie and Damon had chemistry in Vampire Diaries. Bonnie and Damon had chemistry, and also everyone else, like Ian, who played Damon himself, was like, yeah, I ship Bonnie and Damon. I see her as being like, yeah, like he was here for it, and everyone wanted it, but no one else did or whatever. And like definitely Julie Plec and company didn't want it, and yeah, a loud vocal section of the fan base didn't want it either. So people would be super racist and say all kinds of shit to Kat and like about Bonnie and like, you know, I really prefer Bonnie with Kai because blah 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 blah. I'm like, Bonnie was not even Kai's first choice. Caroline was Kai's first choice. Although, to be fair with Damon, Bonnie was also not Damon's first choice. Elena, well, Catherine, and then Elena. But like with Kai, he was there for Caroline, and it didn't happen because she was all about Stefan. And then he tried to get on Mama Salvatore, and then he was all about Bonnie and the time skip. And I'm like, I'm supposed to fall for this shit because she's his third runner-up, and that's her like true love. Bye. Bonnie. When Bonnie and Damon had that friendship in season 6, anyway, this isn't even about that. I'm so sorry. Gemini, I go into tangents. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to Mia. So I feel very protective of Black girl characters and Black women, Black femme characters in shows and movies and everything, because I know by far and away fandom and a lot of critics and whatever will just shit all over them and be like, well, you know, oh, is she pretty? Blah, 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 blah. Even though literally every time they're all gorgeous. They're all everything. And yeah. Look at how they treated Iris this whole time. Candace Patton. This whole time. Yeah. Yeah, so back to Mia. The sweetest, smartest, kindest girl who has her demons. She's not perfect. You know, I'm glad that they introduced the dad and the girlfriend, and we got to see some of Mia's character flaws, because up until that point, she was a bit too perfect in my opinion. She didn't have like any like bad qualities about her, and it didn't really, yeah. But I still loved her though. Like, I'm like, well, yeah. But I'm glad we got some depth with her, and we got some backstory, and we got some like character development with her, with like her mom and her dad and her family situation and family life, and even a little bit about her love life and how like she doesn't date, and she had a thing with a guy who turned out to be Andrew, and yeah. But like by far and away, she's the sweetest person, and like now, okay, I said previously how Felix inserts himself into Victor's life. I feel like the way Mia meets Victor is a lot more organic, at least in my opinion. It's a lot more organic. She didn't so much force her way into his life like that. It just felt more organic to me. I don't know, that's just me. But anyway, she's just sweet. She likes this boy, she likes Victor, she has feelings for him and stuff like that. And he thought he might like her and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't get it, because I knew who I was all along. It did not take me to do whatever, blah, 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 so I don't understand. But, I mean, I know that my story isn't everyone's story. I know that everyone didn't know, excuse me, right away. So, I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, he led her on. He led her on. He knew, because at the end of the day, even if he thought he might be bi or could be with girls or whatever, bi, pan, whatever, like, but could be with her, even if she was the only girl, whatever, I don't know. Some people have like a, it's okay if it's you rule. That's literally a trope on TV Tropes, so look it up, it's a fun trope. Anyway, he thought that he could be with her, and he wanted to make it work. And I think he genuinely like cares for her, obviously. And he like likes her as a person, as a friend. And like he loves her. Like she's a great girl and all that stuff. But she deserves so much. Mia deserves everything. Because she's sweet. She's so sweet and kind and just, yes. Like, I'm like, I feel like crying. I'm like, every time he was just like staring at Benji and smoldering and getting to know himself as someone who is, you know, on the spectrum, you know, and on the far end of the spectrum. He, yeah, when he was kissing Benji and stuff like that, I know that was supposed to be like the big moment and all that stuff. It literally made me sick to my stomach. I'm just like, literally in my mind, and maybe this is like shitty for me to say or whatever, but like, I was like, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole. All you had to do was tell her the truth. You even could have been like, look, I'm confused about my sexuality, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything about me, and this is me like talking to the character of Victor, but like, Victor, is there anything about Mia that made you think that she wouldn't understand, or that she couldn't like, what, figure it out or something, or be cool about it? Was there anything about her that would have like rejected you or whatever? Like, she would have been fine, but you didn't have to go as far as you did with her like that. That's so shitty. Like, come on. Like I said, even if he thought he might like her or be with girls or whatever, like, he knew that he liked Benji more than anyone, and that that's who he wanted more than anything. Like, I am confusion. I am confusion. Why did you do this to her? She did not deserve that, dude. That's fucked up. I get it, though. I get it. Like, it's hard, you know, coming to grips with your sexuality, coming from a religious background, being in the closet, like, all of that. But, like, I just don't like when people use people to skirt by and all of that. I don't think in his mind he thought he was doing that, but he was. To me, I might be wrong, but it's fucked up. I'm just like, oh. Like, when I saw, like, I'm glad, I'm happy for Victor. Like, I will definitely say that. I'm happy for Victor that he's out. He's not hiding the secret, at least to, like, the people closest to him and stuff. I'm glad that he's out and all of that. That's wonderful. Everyone should know what it feels like to be your most authentic self and to not have to hide is amazing. When I came out, it was glorious. I no longer had to hide. I was very frank and upfront and honest about who I am. And it's just, it's wonderful. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. I hope that everyone has the opportunity to come out and love Simon.